blonde from Poland. You know, she was
Hello,
great.
cyberspace. It is Terracin, your favorite sexy cyber bitch. I'm not feeling the greatest, so I'm probably going to be kind of quiet tonight. I'm tired. My sinuses are draining. You guys heard me coughing like mad last night. I'm, of course, subbing for Burnside, and of course, tonight's title is Burnside, the Rump Ranger.
Definitely appropriate since he isn't here.
Exactly, right?
Yep.
I've tried calling him to wake him up. He's probably passed the fuck out, being as he's been working a lot of 12-hour shifts. But right now we have with us Irate Prostate.
Oh, hey.
Did you have yourself muted or something?
Yeah, I'm got a mouthful of food.
Ah, okay. We have Bane.
Hey, everybody. How y'all
also
doing
our
today?
veteran mountain man. We have Cookie Dough, Scooby331.
Hey.
Hey, Scoob, I've been pushing the free Scooby again hashtag again on Twitter. Hopefully some people start listening. I've been getting some retweets on it.
Oh, cool. Thank you, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
we can't have you in Twitter jail, you know.
Yeah.
Who else is going to go off on the people who try to accost me verbally?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I gotta be there to shake my fist and rail that way.
Especially when I get the crazy Paul Krugerman followers yelling at me, like I did this morning.
All right, so you guys were talking about blondes, brunettes, and redheads?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, to be fair, you know, hair color preference is just a preference. I've never refused a girl a date because she didn't have red hair, but I definitely prefer red hair.
You know, it's funny because if you saw my wife, and I'm glad she's not near shot because I get a punch in the head for this, but I call her Salma Hayek came off her diet because she's, you know, she looks like Salma Hayek, but she's very voluptuous and she's a little bit of a bigger girl.
Wow.
Yeah. But
sounds like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I got to talk to her earlier.
Yeah, my wife is cool, you know, but if you'd seen my wife, you wouldn't think my other. It's weird how my preferences run. I either like women who look like her, and like Stacey Dash. I always had a really big thing for Stacey Dash. But when you flip the script, the other side of it, like I was saying right before we went on air, I had the biggest crush because it came out. I think it was about maybe 12 years old when it came out. Gremlins 2. There was this redhead. I forget her name, but she had the thickest Brooklyn accent. And oh my God, whew, did she do it for me?
I'm looking her up right now.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I only like pale skin when it's with like red hair and green eyes.
Thank God.
You like the typical,
The Irish
stereotypical Irish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Porcelain white skin. Even with you can see the veins underneath. That's so hot.
Yeah.
No, to me that means they need to put on some fucking foundation.
There's
I like the heavy freckles and the real pale skin with the nice red hair. It can be the red brown or it can be the deep red. Not so much into the carrot orange.
Right.
I was never a freckle guy. I always liked them when I only liked like because I always liked dark women of color. But to me, like it was another form of exotic, like a woman with skin that pale and hair that red. You know.
Well, I like the freckles because you can. A lot of times the redheads with freckles are ticklish, and so you can trace on their skin and they giggle and they turn different colors.
All right, that actress's name is Haviland Morris.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. No, God, yeah. I see what. Yeah, I got it. She still looks great, dude. I mean,
great looking.
She still looks good.
I wouldn't deny you. She definitely is a looker, but
wow.
Yeah, you know the big thing, though I think it was the accent. I got a soft spot, and I know it's the New York bias, but Her, Fran Drescher, and Marissa Tomei.
Oh my god, I would fuck Fran Drescher in a heartbeat.
I
love
always
her.
had a thing for Fran Drescher. Always had a thing for her.
Well,
And
Marissa
Jennifer
Tomei
Tilly.
here.
Jennifer Tilly. That's another one. Both of the Tilly sisters.
I was going to say. Oh, dude.
Will we see what tickles your skirt, Tara?
Oh, I do Jennifer Tilly too, but I'd have to put duct tape over her mouth. She talks too damn much.
Indeed. Oh, I definitely have to concur with that.
Now with Fran Dresser, I just need a ball gag. That's fine. I can stand to hear her mumbles.
Believe it or not, it was the accent that did it for me with all of them.
Oh no, I can believe it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, homegirls and shit. You know, girls next door. It's like there's something to it.
Yeah. Plus, you know, I was always spoiled for choice because that was, you know, you had all the Italian girls and the Jewish girls that sounded that way, and then you had all the Puerto Rican girls sounded like Rosie Perez, and then you had all the sisters. Oh my God, the sisters. Whew. So I'll be honest with you, I spent so much time playing in the jungle. I never really even bothered going after the white girls. It's true.
Welcome to the jungle, baby. Do you know where you are?
Oh my God! I spent so much time up at Burger King because it was right down the block from the North Lindenhurst pools, and so you go there, and all the black girls would be in there because you know all the black kids were over by the pool playing basketball at the court because there was a basketball court over there. So I felt like such, you know. I look back on it now, like wow, how did I not get shot? Because I used to go up to Burger King and I was constantly scooping their women while they were playing basketball. Oh man, good times.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I always said I could never be racist because you know I used to go to the mall and try to pick up the Indian chicks who worked at the phone booths. You know, I mean, seriously, beautiful women are the best cure for any form of like intolerance. Seriously, that and good food.
Yeah, good food.
Good food and beautiful women. Yeah, how can you be intolerant? If you got a beautiful woman sitting there for serving you a fine meal, you got to have something wrong with you personally.
Indeed.
Yeah, seriously. Oh.
Yeah, Scooby's gonna be in heaven at more when I start feeding him my homemade jambalaya.
Oh, man. As long as it's not seafood jambalaya.
No, I don't do seafood.
That's fine then. And as long as you use powdered onions instead of regular onions, I got a thing about onions. For whatever reason,
we agreed that I was gonna saute them and put them to the side.
Yeah, that's fine because onions, you know what it is?
You told me.
Texture. Yeah, the texture. I can't get past texture onions for some reason. It's the weirdest thing. My father used to take it personal. He used to think because his sisters, you know, they'd use so many onions. My God. You know? He used to do that. Yeah, Prostate, let me ask you, you're an older guy. You've probably seen this a lot when you were younger. No, when you were younger, I don't see people doing this as much nowadays. You remember when people used to just sit there and eat an onion like an apple?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. Just like, I mean, just pick up an onion and go, whop. Just
it fell out of style.
Yeah.
It fell out of style. Somebody was doing that the other day. I guess this guy was probably about maybe about 55, I'm guessing. He was a vet. And he's sitting there and he's eating an onion, and these kids were looking at him horrified. Like, how could you do that?
Oh, man, you get a good Vidalia, man.
Six's video of him eating those jalapenos.
Oh, yeah. But it's certain things. Like, these kids, I mean, it fell out of vogue so much. Like, there was a clam bar. And a couple of these college kids, they went past the clam bar. It was over by it. It was over in Bayshore on the water, and they were asking, like, "What's a clam bar?" And I explained to them, you know, like you go up, you order your clams, and you eat it. And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then they're like, "Oh my God, they're raw." I go, "Yeah, you can order them raw or cooked." They said, "But a lot of people prefer them raw," and they were horrified watching people eat raw clams.
No, that's one of the ways to eat them. Same with oysters.
That's the way my mom liked them.
That's why I was asking, because these under 30 people, like, they're horrified. It's like if it doesn't come out of a box or a can, they've never seen it before. It's amazing to me.
Jeez, man, I put stuff in jars.
Seriously, like these younger kids, I can't believe it. That's why I was saying, I had a buddy of mine and he used to eat onions like that all the time. And the same thing when I was a kid, because my relatives were from Ireland. If you wanted a sweet snack, they'd give you a turnip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you tell that to these kids, and they look at you like, "What are you, a sadist? A turnip? I'm going to eat this."
When I was a kid, my mom handed me radishes, cucumbers. Usually with the salt shaker with it because I love cucumbers with salt.
Oh, who doesn't? It's delicious.
Or watermelon with salt because I wanted the sweet but the bitter too.
A lot of people don't do that, man. But I used to do that when I was a kid. I loved it that way. I haven't eaten watermelon in God knows how long. That's man. But I tell you what I do love is cantaloupe.
Oh God, I can't stand cantaloupe.
Love, dude. You know how I eat it? This will even like put more people off. I like to eat it like you take a cantaloupe, you cut it in half, and you carve the seeds out like there's a little hole, that little dip in the middle, right? And I fill that with cottage cheese. And,
I've seen people do
that. My grandmother used to do that.
Pepper on it. And I can eat that shit all day long. I just love it. It's just, I don't know.
Do you say with black pepper?
Absolutely. Restaurant grade black pepper. I can't eat use the real fine stuff. I have to have it where I get a little crunch out of it. So it's like, it's a little more.
You need the coarse ground.
That's what it's not quite coarse. It's called restaurant grade.
You need the crack. You need the actual corn with the crack.
Exactly. I need a crack. That's what I need. Exactly.
Yeah. I could see that actually using the pepper to bring out the flavor of the cottage cheese and the cantaloupe.
It's really good, man. It really.
I gotta try that. I think I told you what I thank God I had to get rid of the damn thing because I was going to kill myself. My mother watches The Chew every once in a while, and I think it was the bald chef, the Greek, and he gave him a little treat. And this man needs to go to hell for unleashing this upon the populace because I tried it, and it's basically like confectionery heroin.
Indeed.
Breyer's vanilla bean ice cream with pink Himalayan sea salt.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You were telling me about that the other day, man.
My God.
Is there a different flavor to the pink stuff or?
It's got a different flavor to it, and when you use it, it's to dress because that's what if you ever get the salted caramel, that's the salt that they use because it goes really good. It's a good contrast against sweet.
Yeah.
But when you add it to vanilla bean ice cream, holy shit. It's basically like attaching a flux capacitor to your tongue.
Sweet.
Yeah.
If you say so, man. I have done the salt ice cream before, especially like vanilla bean or caramel. I think most salts go well with it, but I could understand the pink Himalayan salt going real well with it as well.
Specifically with you got to use the vanilla bean. That combo.
Cheesecake ice cream with fresh berries.
What, cheesecake with cheesecake ice cream with fresh berries? Oh hell yeah!
That's what my friend was saying. She said best thing is cheesecake ice cream with fresh berries. Homemade cheesecake ice cream with fresh berries.
Oh hell yeah, definitely. I lucked out because I think I told you between my father's family and my brother-in-law's family, who were Jordanian, and the Greeks around the corner. When I was a kid, you'd go over places and for snacks, you'd have things like, fruit and cheese, covered in olive oil or covered in honey, depending on where you were, stuffed grape leaves. Yeah. I didn't have chips as a kid. There was no chips and dip. There was no pretzels. There was no cheese doodles. We didn't have that shit. We had cheese and fruit and fish and meats and different things like that nature.
Ooh, banana chips with caramel dip. Oh.
Yeah. When you would come over my house, if you came over for Thanksgiving, you would see something interesting. You'd see the men in the house fighting over the sweetbreads inside the bird. More than no one fought over the drumsticks. They fought over the heart and the gizzards and the lungs and the kidneys.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I try to tell people our house, you gotta remember, most of my relatives were not Americans. So the
Remember,
eating habits,
everybody, Scooby's family eats what people in hentai fuck.
Exactly.
specifically the Sicilians, what they eat. I told you, I think that the big thing on Sunday morning my uncles would have is you'd take a sea cucumber and you'd slice the thing open live and you'd eat the roe that was in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's disgusting, the shit that they eat.
So
Yeah.
guys, I just got a news report that popped up on my Twitter feed
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
that Tara is gonna hate.
Oh.
Fucking Florida man, right?
But it is so apropos right now
Oh,
because Burnside is not here. So I'm going to read it. So Chicago's own WGN Channel 9 reports
Oh God.
a homeless South Florida man with no arms has been charged in the stabbing of a Chicago tourist.
A man with no arms has been charged with the stabbing. Okay.
Hang on. I'm going to tell you exactly how it happened. Miami Beach police said 46-year-old Jonathan Crenshaw held a pair of scissors with his feet and stabbed 22-year-old Cesar Coronado just after midnight early Tuesday. Miami Herald reports that Kershaw is a popular fixture in the area and known for painting on canvas along a trendy spot on South Beach.
What did he do? Stab him with a paintbrush handle?
Stabbed him with scissors. According to the arrest report, Crenshaw says he was lying down when Coronado approached him, punched him in the head. Police say Kershaw then stabbed Coronado twice and then fled.
Okay, well, the first guy punched him. That's self-defense after that.
Now, a friend traveling with Coronado said that they asked Kershaw for directions when he jumped up, stabbed Coronado, and Coronado was taken to the hospital. Kershaw is being charged with aggravated battery.
Did she get this out of the fucking Inquisitor?
Nope. This is Chicago's WGN Channel 9.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. This.
Yeah.
Well, I got nothing. Fuck it, I got nothing. I got nothing to say. Wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
That Ruking says, Florida commie? Screw you.
Yes.
Here's a link to the article.
It's the Black Knight. You know, I'm thinking of the Black Knight and fucking Monty Python.
Yeah.
It's a flesh wound.
Oh God.
Give me the scissors.
I mean, and I'm sorry, Tara. I know you hate the Florida man stories, but I saw that, and with Burnside not here, and it being a Florida man stabbing a Chicago tourist, I couldn't help it.
Are we sure it wasn't Burnside that was stabbed? I mean, he's not here. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, in the report it says it was Cesar Coronado, and so I'm assuming Cesar is not a white Swede. Just going out on a limb here. I mean, based off the name.
I mean, hey, come on. We all use aliases on here.
True, but I've seen Burnside, and he most definitely is a white Swede.
Are you sure I didn't do his makeup? Ooh.
You're in Florida, he's in Chicago.
God damn it. What if I told you we created the teleporter?
Yeah, no, not buying it.
Fuck it out.
But yeah, I had to give you the Florida man tonight. I'm sorry, Tara. I should feel bad about this, but I really don't.
You don't. So don't say you're sorry. If you're gonna say sorry, not sorry.
Well, I feel a little bit bad about it because I try not to Florida man you because I know you hate it. But
it's more of the fact that a lot of people go off of these Florida man stories thinking that's how everyone in fucking Florida acts.
I know.
And I'm like, no, I'm not a Riri.
Yep.
I don't run around with scissors. I don't hack people to death with a sword only because it's illegal. Because I do own swords and I do know how to use them.
Oh yeah.
There's
nothing wrong with owning swords. I have a few swords. I have a couple of axes too. But once again, I don't hack people up with axes either.
I mean, it's the fact that morons out there somehow actually think we act this way.
Well, to be fair, the number of Florida man stories that are out there is part of the reason. And I hate saying it, but when you see dozens of them every week.
Yeah, I know, and this is why I hate Florida man.
Yep.
Trust me, if I could find the guy that infects people with Florida man, I'd take him out.
Just get rid of him?
Yep. You created Florida man! You must die! I kill you! But silence! I kill you.
Yep. So, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Twitter is threatening to purge accounts.
Oh.
Twitter can suck my invisible dick.
Yeah, they announced today that they're going to do a purge, Twitter to purge locked accounts.
Ooh.
And warns of significant reduction in follower counts to follow because of it. Here's a report from Newsmax about it in more detail. Twitter this week will remove locked accounts, those that are disabled because of suspicious activity, from follower account tallies, a move the company said could result in some users seeing a big drop in their base of followers. According to Twitter, the removal of locked accounts from followers will not affect the average active user counts, which are key metrics. Wall Street users to track growth. Users with locked accounts that have not reset their passwords in more than a month are not included in monthly active users or daily active user counts. The company said it's making the change as part of its efforts to boost trust and transparency about the service. This specific update is focused on followers because it is one of the most visible features of our service and is often associated with account credibility, which is completely ridiculous. Your account is no more or less credible if you've got 10,000 followers versus 1,000 followers.
Exactly.
While eliminating locked accounts from total followers won't affect monthly active users or daily active user totals, Twitter's efforts to shut down any other kinds of accounts, like those set up by spammers, potentially could. A recent report that Twitter has accelerated the rate it has been suspending fake accounts and prompt its stock to drop this week, as investors feared Twitter's total user base could shrink as a result. The company suspended more than 70 million fake accounts this past May and June, which a lot of users were actually caught up in. It was far fewer than 70 million fake accounts. There was a lot fewer. A lot of those accounts were active users that weren't active on a daily basis. I know because I saw like a 300 user
Twitter
drop.
Daily. I post maybe once a week.
Yeah, I saw a 300 user drop in my followers when they did that. And within a month, those users were back in my following because a lot of them went back, reset their account, and came right back. And I only had about 500 followers at the time. So if that's what I was seeing, how many of those 70 million that they are claiming were fake were really fake? No one really knows. But yeah, So that's what's going on this week. So for those of you on Twitter,
is bring in people making more and more alternate accounts.
Oh yeah, yeah, it will.
I mean, on Facebook, technically the main one that I use was my alternate, and then I deleted my old main because I just was using this one more.
Right.
And I have an actual alternate that I use for the Terra Sin that I actually created to spy on an ex. He gave me probable cause, so I did it.
Now, I also don't know if you guys have heard or not. I actually did a video on this one as well today. There is a law going forward at the U.S. Senate and House to create a federal statute causing a 15-year maximum sentence for rioting while masked. And they are trying to use it to combat Antifa.
Nice.
Now, I don't know about you guys. I know what my opinion is on this, but what I would like to see is I would actually like to see them relax some of the concealed carry laws and some of the self-defense laws.
Yeah.
So that instead of arresting people for 15 years for wearing a face mask, if they're throwing fireworks at you, even if they're not actively throwing it at you when you draw your gun, you can still knock them down to the ground and then have them arrested.
Right.
Because I know here in Oregon, if you shoot them after they have thrown the firework, you're now up for manslaughter.
Ooh.
If you shoot them with the firework in their hand as they're throwing, you're self-defense.
Oh.
So it's completely ridiculous where they draw the line. The second that firework leaves their hand, that's where the line is drawn, even though they threw it at you. And they could be throwing another one at you.
Well, that's fine then. That just means if I see people with a firework, I can just shoot them then. That's what that means. If they're going to do that with the law, oh, okay, well, my thing is then, well, he was going to light it and throw it at me. Well, you don't know that. Well, if the law is that once it leaves his hand, I'm up for manslaughter. He had it in his hand, so ipso facto, it's self-defense. There you go.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to prove in court, man. And with as liberal as a lot of people are. It's going to
be hard to deny as well.
It is. And what it's going to end up coming down to is credibility and whether or not there's Antifa supporters in the jury. Which in Oregon, there's no way to rule that out.
There's going to be a good chance of that happening, man.
Yeah.
Jesus. That is just when I laughed, it was like, yeah, that's, but then again, it's like you go, well, fuck it. It is Oregon too.
Yeah. I'm honestly thinking, because I'm not exactly big into firearms, but I was thinking about it. I could just go up there with a Boken. Seriously, I've been practicing Kenjutsu since the 80s. I'll knock the fuck out these kids that come near me.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah. I mean, what is it's at the point where if I got this thing and I got it strapped on my back and a cop stops me, my response to him is going to be, they're using blunt instruments and they're using projectiles. I have this thing. I'm a practitioner. I know how to use it. If anything, if I use it to drop somebody, I know how to do it where they're going to get stunned and they're not going to get injured.
Right.
It's going to be a temper.
Staff?
No, the sword.
Ah.
Yeah, the katana version. I was probably going to take, I have a bunch of them. I was probably going to take, if I can find it, it's packed away. I have a really nice wooden one it's actually got a sheath that it fits into. So
nice.
Yeah, I might just wear that thing. I mean, depending, because it's a full size, so I could wear it like on my waist, like an actual katana, or I could wear it across my back like a putz. Which would, I mean, it depends. I don't know, but I don't think I want to sit there and sword fight with Antifa in the middle of the park.
I personally prefer a quarterstaff.
Cool.
Apparently, somebody's got an opinion on that.
Is that the soundboard, or is that actually your dog?
That's his soundboard. Okay, I don't need to hear toilet flushing. My medication's already doing that.
Look, what the hell is the matter with you?
The hobo's outside again.
No, he's running through the house barking. I don't know what it is.
Maybe there's rats in the roof.
That's possible. It is New York. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead. But yeah, no. So because of this new law, which is going to probably get passed, they're going to make it finable and up to 15 years in prison if you're Antifa-ing or if you're someone else with a mask on while rioting.
That's good.
See, honestly, this is why we need the purge, because we can, find out who the Antifas are and just take them out.
Nah, fuck taking them out. Use them to build the wall. Seriously, my whole thing is this:
the Chinese emperors used the slave laborers in China to create the mortar for the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, but I'm not talking like actually using these people physically, like to make the mortar, not like anything like that.
No.
Talking.
They did it after they died while building the wall. They just threw their bodies up there and put stones on top of them.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you meant. That's actually how half of the bridges in New York are made too. Yeah, no, a lot of people. That's an actual fact. A lot of people don't realize that they couldn't get the bodies out, so they just said "fuck it" and left them.
Right.
It's horrible. They, like my father may rest in peace. Which, actually, since I say my father may rest in peace, I should actually bring this up. It's actually 10 years ago today he passed.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's kind of why I've been a little bit flaky the past couple of days. The great's on me. But he told me when we were going over the bridges, he would bring it up all the time. Like, Pachota, there's hundreds of people stuck in this bridge. Yeah, thanks, Pop. I want to really hear that shit when I'm stuck in traffic going over this thing.
So guys, Death Hyrukin just said that we should use the Antifa commies as test dummies for the Space Force suits.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Well, in all honesty, I look at it this way, and I've been saying this for years, and I'm saying this now, like the past 2 years, and I mean it. And, a lot of people are going to say, bless you, they're going to say things like, oh, it's an overreach, it's a violation of civil liberties, this, that, and the third. My thing is this. If you got somebody and they got a Facebook, and they got a Twitter, and they got a YouTube channel, and they got all the other goodies that we all have, and every single day, they're putting up a couple of dozen posts, maybe even hundreds. Fuck America, fuck the president, fuck people of this background, fuck people of this persuasion, screw these people, death to all these people. I want to shoot them. I want to blow up this. I want to set them on fire. I want to wear them as a hat. Whatever the fuck these crazy people are saying. Now, you can have an opinion. I don't particularly like when people like Josh Whedon say, I want to see Paul Ryan raped to death by a rhino because I think it would be funny. I don't actually think he's calling for a zookeeper to, go fetch the rhinoceros and to hold down Paul Ryan, But when people are saying, I want to take my rifle and go blow away so-and-so and shoot him in the head every day, and other people are saying, fuck America. And then they're not only saying this, but then you catch them in the streets dressed like a Walmart ninja, throwing Molotov cocktails, kicking over garbage cans, and busting the windows out of a Starbucks. I don't know. To me, it just says, okay, you have a couple of 100 days worth of them saying that they're going to do this behavior, and then you have videotape of them doing this at numerous things. Like, let's say people in Berkeley, for example. That's like a weekly thing with these people. So I'm saying you have enough evidence. It's not really like I'm saying it's not Big Brother and it's not the state. If you just say, you know what, fuck it, try these people. You have enough evidence is what I'm saying. It's not like you're invading their privacy. They're putting this shit out there, for God's sake, for the world to see. It's not like they're going and they're sniffing around in your mail and they're going in your house when you leave the house. This is shit you're putting out there for the entire planet to come view.
Right.
So I don't, to me, it's not like the Patriot Act, and like you're using this shit and you're taking away people's liberties and this. No, you're sitting there saying "fuck America," then you're going in the streets doing all this shit. I'm saying, look, use their social media shit as evidence and prosecute these motherfuckers when you catch them. I don't understand why that's such a taboo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's prostate. Seriously, Mountain Man, all three of us, and you too, Tara. Every one of us here is over 30. All right, we're all old enough to remember when we were younger. If you went and said or did something, and it was considered a threat, and then you did behavior that, could be considered a threat also, that usually the prosecutor would build a case saying, Your Honor, so-and-so did this shit before. We have proof of it.
Right.
I don't understand why nowadays, because it's on social media, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's Big Brother, it's fascism, it's this and that. I don't see that. I don't think your freedom of speech sits there and it's being a fucking terrorist, because it's terrorism.
I don't have a problem with people's social media being used as part of the evidence provided. However, I do also think that there does have to be that crossing of the line. It can't just be, oh, they've got social media posts I disagree with. They need to be brought up on charges. It needs to be that they actually did something illegal. And then if the social media posts show that they had intent on doing it and it was premeditated, then those posts should be able to be introduced as evidence. I mean, because that shows premeditation. I mean, that's kind of important to be able to prove.
Yeah, and I would never advocate for locking somebody up who I disagree with. I was actually talking to yesterday. I don't want to dox the gentleman because we went to college together. He was actually my editor when I worked at a newspaper, and we had our differences back then, and we definitely have our differences now. He was a Hillary supporter. He actually campaigned for her. He just campaigned. He was one of the campaign managers for that crazy communist that they just got elected up in the Bronx. And I actually sat there yesterday, and we caught up and talked for about a good 45 minutes. And not to toot my own horn, I pretty much spanked him. But it was between the two of us in the private messaging, and. But I always did. That's part of the reason we don't like it. Jesus God, man. Don't do that in Daddy's ear. Sorry. He was sitting right next to me, and he leapt in the air and did that. Yeah, sorry. But, no, the thing is, it's ironic. He's a columnist now, and he writes, for a few different papers. And it's because of our politics. He went on to be a writer, and I went on into obscurity. Because I've been saying it for years, you cannot be anything even near conservative in New York and hope to get anywhere. And I'm a centrist, and that's too conservative for them.
That's
you have
sad,
to be,
man.
you have to be left wing, or you're not going to get anywhere in New York. That's how it is.
No, you mean socialist.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man, that's what's going on with New York and with all these northeastern states, that they're pushing towards this socialist, Democrat socialist utopian mindset, because it's just socialism doesn't work.
Yeah.
Central planning doesn't work. It never has.
Yeah.
Now, America does have a couple things that are considered socialist, like the food stamp program, the welfare program. However, there are a lot of people on the, very far right that are like, oh, well, the only people on those are drug addicts and lazy fuckers, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, really? I'm on food stamps and I'm not a drug addict. Like, I've never done drugs in my life. They don't need to know that, I occasionally smoke weed for pain. But, I've never done a hardcore drug because I grew up watching my mom do it. And they're like, oh, well, you have a job, don't you? And I'm like, I'm disabled. I'm fighting for my disability. Well, then you're a lazy No, I have 3 bulging discs in my back and I'm mentally unstable.
That's those fake.
Well, see, they're like, that's different. I'm like, no, you're trying to say that everyone on this, because they would use, the terms that generalized everybody. And I'm like, no, if you're going to say this, say it right. A small portion I was like, because in Florida, they drug tested. Luckily, I wasn't one of them. Mostly in South Florida, they drug tested like I want to say 25% of the people down in like Miami, and found that only like 1% of 1 or 2 people were actually using drugs that had the food stamps and were on welfare.
Well, to be
Florida
fair, Tara,
literally got rid of that whole law. They're like, nope, we're not doing this. This wasted government money.
well, and I see that, but I've also seen it differently in a lot of other states. Like here in Oregon, quite regularly, the people that are on food stamps are there's a lot of people on food stamps that are part of the homeless population downtown, and there is a huge amount of heroin addiction amongst our homeless population downtown.
Don't get me wrong, amongst the homeless, yeah, it's rampant, but they also slip through the cracks when it comes to things like that. They were going after people that had jobs and stuff like that that were on food stamps.
Yeah, see, if you've got jobs and if you've got a job and you're on food stamps, the likelihood of you being on drugs is very low.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think that was necessarily a fair test. I think realistically they should have been looking at the people who aren't working at all that are on food stamps, because that would have been a better sampling.
And one of the here's the deal is that the funds for all this shit comes from taxes, right?
Yeah.
Which means that it's paid by Americans, right? Whereas on a socialist system, the government, you don't get paid. You know, you get your apartment, you may get a stipend, for like your utilities, blah blah blah, and then of course you get your allotment of food, and that's the way that a true socialist, or organized socialist country, have worked in the past. I'll put it that way, right? But the money all comes from the central government, because they've appropriated every bit of land, all the businesses and shit. They're all now run by the government, and so whereas in this situation it's taxpayers' money, and and the taxpayers have obviously kept it, because they could have amended this stuff. They could have changed everything, but they haven't, and people will argue that that's quasi-socialist, and I can see that, and I'm even willing to give that a nod, you know what I'm saying? But it's like but it's not an excuse to like go full socialist, because really, to be honest, a country this big, if you want to make it pure, like a socialist country, just like they did in Russia and shit, we're gonna have to kill a shitload of people. I mean, there's no way around it, because there's going to be people that steal. There's going to be people that are just like, fuck this. I'm free. I'm an American. This ain't the country I grew up in. I will be one of those. So, I'll probably get a bullet in the back of my head in a firing squad, but I'll die a fucking free man.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
You know my opinion on that. I don't even have to voice it. I mean,
well, exactly, because we'll get the right. We'll have a trial, because we have taken some down with us. So,
yeah. I'll take as many as I can with me, kicking and screaming the whole way.
That's the point. That's in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. They gave us that power. Hey, look, if the government gets too cuckoo and they start pulling this bullshit again with the monarchy, monarchist type concepts and totalitarianism, and you've got the right to overthrow it, man. We give you that power. Militias, guns, blah blah blah. So thank you, because they say, man, this if this shit goes wrong, they said, oh, okay, we'll think of something, and they did. They were so fucking just smart, and just they fought hard. All those guys fought, and they argued and shit, but they hammered out something that's the most beautiful thing. I haven't run into anything anywhere near even close as good as what we have here.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. In fact, that's been one of my points regularly when I discuss the Constitution with people, and when they say, "Well, why hasn't any other country adopted it?" I look at them and I tell them flat out, because a strong man can give up power. A weak man will never give up power.
Exactly.
And far too often, weak men decide what government is going to be. The founders of the United States were strong men, and it took a lot of strength to turn down the power they were given, because they could have made the United States a parliamentary democracy or any other form of government they wanted. There were people in the United States bidding for a monarchy, to create a new monarchy, for crying out loud. And the founding fathers said, no,
Negative.
we're going to create a limited republic so that people can be free. I mean, that took guts.
It did. And it took discipline, you know.
Oh, yeah. And it took strength. I mean, that's
absolutely.
It's so much harder to give up power when somebody has given you power than it is to use that power and wield it. It's so much harder to give it up.
Yeah, it's so admirable, man.
It's one of the things that makes me look up to Washington. He tried his hardest not to become president.
He denied. There was something his wife had written, Martha, in her diaries. I think she's something about how George said it was so easy to say no because he never wanted that kind of power, but it was so hard for him to finally say yes when they kept asking him.
Yeah, and I mean he was he had a lot of self-control, and I mean that's one of those kind of things that it makes him so admirable, that he had such control over himself.
Exactly.
That he didn't want that kind of power. That shows an understanding and a reasoning and a logic beyond most people's comprehension, because so many people are willing to take up that power and use it like a sword to strike at people they disagree with. And it's so much harder to not use it than it is to use it. It's easy to attack your enemies. It's hard not to.
Yep.
All right, so who wants to hear some good news?
Let's hear some good news.
All right, I'm going to do a screen share.
I'm going to have to pop out. Shit, I didn't realize.
Oh, yeah, man, it's almost 8.
Yeah, I got to, anyway, what do you got to share? And
I'm sharing it real quick. My aunt bought me a sewing machine today. It's in a table.
Hey!
Awesome.
So I'll be able to do some sewing. I'm still trying to get, a portable sewing machine, but it's not as rushed. When I tell people I can go to your house and teach you how to sew, that means I can take my machine with me.
Yes. Congratulations, Tara. I am glad you got yourself
fantastic.
a sewing machine and you can get back to sewing a little bit. I know I posted out on a lot of my social media when I posted about this stream for my viewers and subscribers to be generous, because you were trying to fundraise to get a new sewing machine.
Yep.
So I hope you get some donations.
This one's not going to break anytime soon. It's an old Kenmore. It's about 10 years older than what my aunt had.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's a gorgeous piece of equipment, and it looks like it's going to last you a long time.
Oh yeah, the woman that had it before me, she worked at a mental institution and sewed up most of the clothes at the mental institution.
Oh wow.
So
well, I'm going to split, okay, y'all,
okay.
and congrats, Tara. Thanks, y'all, and I'll see y'all later on.
See you later, all right.
So
Later,
along
man.
with this machine, you see those boxes in the back?
Oh yeah.
It came with a whole bunch of sewing supplies.
Ooh, nice. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool.
That should help you get back to fundraising for more.
Yeah, and here's a quick video of it actually sewing. And it's so quiet. I'm not used to a quiet machine anymore.
That's awesome.
The only thing I've had to do to it is I opened up the casing up here and I sprayed it with some canned air.
Yeah, to clean it out.
To clean out the dust, and the needle was a little bit bent on the machine. So I replaced it and it's running just fine.
I'm glad to hear that you got yourself a machine there, Tara. That's good for you. So I just saw something come through my Twitter feed that made me cringe.
Oh no.
George
What?
Lopez pretends to pee on Donald Trump's Hollywood star.
You know why that is, right? Because George
He's an
Lopez
imbecile.
came here as an illegal. No, he came here as an illegal.
Oh. He's been here this long. He couldn't make himself straight by then?
I think he has, but when he was brought here as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And he dislikes Donald Trump. We both know that I do, but he made several points on the George Lopez TV series about coming to America as an illegal, and then he was on like Jimmy Kimmel or some shit like that, stating that the reason why he brought that up is because he really was brought here as an illegal. He didn't know his father. He was brought up by his mom, things like that, and so it's just like whatever, at least to me. You've been here this long, you should have gotten your papers straightened out by now.
That's what I'm saying. The whole thing is, and I say the same thing about these DACA kids, I feel bad for them, but go get your shit straight.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's all. That's all my response is to that. And when people say, well, what about everyone else who was waiting here online because they talk about the fast pass thing, my response is I'm not saying anything against those folks, but understand when you have a kid, you do it on a case by case, but when you have somebody who's been here and when they turn 18, they go to try to apply for their shit and they find out they got brought here illegally, I think, yeah, we can understand like helping to fast track those kids. I mean, look, a lot of people, they bitch about, people who were brought here and they're anchor babies. But again, we got to do it on a case by case. You got some putz kid who does not know a lick of Spanish. You can't go and throw them back in El Salvador to the wolves. I mean, like a lot of the kids who grew up around here, they're too soft. You're sentencing them to death. And, to me, look, I hate saying it, but a lot of these kids, you can't throw them out the country. They're stuck here. That's on the Democrats. And at this point now, you just got to make sure that you raise them to be good Americans, because my fucking magnanimity is only go so far. Because if any of these kids I'm standing here defending, I find out are the ones that are sitting there screaming about, burn the flag and throw it over the country. Well, I'm sorry, Pepe. I gave you one fucking shot. Now you're going on the fucking boat and you're going back. As long as you're here and you're being a good American, I find out that you're some sort of fucking counterinsurgent revolutionary weirdo, I'll mail you there myself.
Mail you there to Foot Locker?
Yeah, seriously. I'll poke holes in it. I'm not inhumane.
By the way,
that'd be awful tempted.
If you guys have anyone you want to invite on for the last hour, go for it.
Sure. Let's see.
Because I'm starting to feel feverish again. I kind of pissed off my ear today. It was kind of itchy. And so I was trying to be gentle with it, but it still ended up pissing it off. So I'm feeling a little bit feverish. I was telling my roommate that I was going to rearrange while she was at work tonight. That's probably not happening until tomorrow.
Oh, cool. There's two of me. Awesome.
Two of you?
Two of you?
Yeah. My computer screwed up, so there's two of me.
Man. Oh man, that
Double
happens.
Scooby. Oh boy,
Double-
I can be an sandwich.
Double chocolate chip.
Oh God. You guys are too much. Let's see who is online.
I just pinged Tennessee Marine. See if he
I
wants to come
pinged him
on.
too earlier.
Cool. Let's all ping the guy. Cool. All right, I sent him one. Here we go.
Did you send Kaz one?
Yep.
What about Irving?
Yep.
What about Foster?
Yep.
All right.
Sir Wolfie?
No. I think he's doing the deviants right now. I forgot.
yeah.
All right.
On Monday.
Oh, okay. Because I sent one to Wolfie. Let me see. I think I sent
Tennessee is streaming right now.
Oh, all right. All right, let's see. I'll see if Cairo's around.
Okay.
I sent one to Tyro.
All right.
Damn, the double mint Scooby disappeared.
Oh, well. Couldn't last forever.
Yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm just going through the list of people here. Where the hell is Six, by the way? Did anyone know?
Probably at work.
Did you hit him up at all?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I literally called Burnside's phone. That's why I'm pretty sure he's asleep. Because normally when I call, he answers.
Anybody ping Night Crow?
No, I didn't.
I think he's at work, but we can try.
I hit up Rational Outlaw. He's a good kid, and he doesn't usually get to talk too much, and I'd like to actually get him to talk once in a while. He's got a lot of good shit to say.
See, I've done a couple of his streams. He's actually got some good ideas and some good thoughts. I agree.
I'll send Night Crow the link on Twitter.
Hey, Irate, you're
back.
Yeah, I'm back. It's my thing went tits up, whatever it was. It went tits up, and it's not happening. So hey, I'm back.
Hey,
I hate it when tits go up.
Well, if they're pointing up when the girl's standing up, you know what I'm saying? That's a good thing.
Not necessarily. Not if they're like poking out, sticking up. Then that's weird.
Yeah, if she's got the whole Kilroy thing going on.
Well, no, not that. I'm talking about, nice, level boobs, man, with the nipples just pointing up right about 45 degrees,
I come in and the first thing I hear is talk about tits. Hello.
Welcome, T. Dude, I was
doing,
about to hit you up and invite you here. So we're great minds think alike.
Right.
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. I actually left a stream to come and stream with you guys. I figured I've been summoned too many times to this, so I might as well come in and say hello to all the lovely people. How are y'all doing tonight?
I get to pick a wig.
All right, we'll kill it.
Yet again, Tara, if you come near my fucking hair, I'm gonna have to lay your ass out. I don't care if you're a woman. Like, no, this shit is not ever gonna happen. You crazy bitch. Leave me alone. Stop it.
Tennessee Marine, she keeps threatening to bedazzle my beard. So,
and you guys wonder why I don't show up every time I come in here. I'm threatened with fucking, baldness.
No shit.
Oh, don't be, bro. Look at it this way. She just told me she's making me a pair of assless chaps.
Keep that hair, man.
Yeah, it's so don't worry. At least all you get is
Burnside's getting the onesie gator footy pajamas with the ass flap.
I can actually picture him walking around drinking a beer dressed like that. That's
oh gosh. So guys, I just saw
hanging open.
I just saw a breaking report. Huma Abedin gave false statements to FBI agents in 2016 and 2017. She's currently not under charges, but the previously declassified Huma's 302, and it appears that she gave false reports. She lied in her 2016 interview when she said she had no knowledge of Hillary Clinton's private email server until after leaving the State Department. And she obviously did because she sent emails to her on her private server. In fact, there were quite a few emails from 2010 and 2011 where Huma was emailing directly to Hillary's private server to her.
Hey, guess what, guys? Breaking news. A pack of liars lie, you know.
Well, I'm just hoping that this will actually turn into an indictment because,
Nah, it's not going to, man.
Man, we got to start kicking the deep state out of the FBI because there's just too much corruption in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it's like I don't think it's ever gonna happen, man. I really don't. These people are too well connected, and I don't know, man. Like, don't get me wrong, I was all about Trump when he was one of the things he ran on was drain the swamp and blah blah blah. But it's like for generations, our government has been the fucking swamp. You know what I mean? Like that's how it's been made to function almost. It's a necessity for it to be evil and corrupt in order to function. And I don't think you're going to change that over the course of one presidency, whether it's 2 terms or not. So I'm just hoping at the end of the fucking day that the Democrats are stupid enough to run Hillary Clinton again in 2020, because that shit would make me fucking laugh my ass off that they're that fucking dumb. So yeah.
Man, they're already weekend at Bernieing Ruth Bader Ginsburg. They can't weekend at Bernie Hillary Clinton too to try to drag her back across the freaking finish line yet again.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, man.
There's not enough of them left to do it.
well, you say that, man, but here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. If anybody can make, bless you, if anybody can make a Gesundheit, 3rd time's charm. Come on. God damn it.
Nope, I'm good.
God damn it! I was gonna go 3 of 3. Shit. Anyways, but I mean, if anybody is going to run a stupid, tactically inefficient campaign, it's the Democrats. And I swear to God, if they're stupid enough to run Hillary Clinton again as a viable candidate, I really do think they would be. So
well, it's not so much stupidity as arrogance.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
I'm expecting to see Pocahontas as their primary candidate at the next election, and I think she's not going to be able to do any better than Hydrogen Hillary did.
Well, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'd rather they put up Hillary because their other options are, like you said, it's either Warren or Hillary's replacement in my state. After Hillary vacated her seat, they gave it up to Kristen Gillibrand. Kristen Gillibrand is a whole different level of evil. I'm very, very afraid of that woman. And
she doesn't have
I'd rather Hillary. Thank God, because I'd rather Hillary than her. That to give you an idea of how cold and evil this woman is, I'd rather Hillary Clinton than her as president.
Wow,
that's terrifying.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of the crap she's been pushing. She is just stone cold, but.
Well, you know what 2020 is going to look like. It's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh God damn it! I told you about this soundboard shit in a private hangout. God damn it! Son of a. No. Why did I even click the hangout link? I get.
It's not private. We're broadcasting.
Well, you remember we talked last night in a private hangout for a little bit, and you did the soundboard shit there too. And I was like, God damn it, irate. No, not you too. It's like all of my friends have got a fucking disease apparently all of a sudden. It's like they're doing
irate, do you have the sound
shit.
of like
No, don't encourage him. Do not encourage him. No.
Do we have a wah?
Yeah. Or a slide whistle.
I'll refrain.
Thank you, irate. Thank you. God damn it. I come in, I first start hearing about boobs, and I get my fucking hair threatened, and now fucking soundboard shit.
What's the deal about boobs? What the fuck?
That was me, bro.
That was a good thing. I thought it was going to be good until Tara threatened me, then you come up with the fucking soundboard. I can't handle this no more. I'm quitting the internet. Fuck it. I'm done.
Oh man. Hey, like I said, she was threatening to dye and bedazzle my beard, especially for more next year.
Dime
Fuck it.
bedazzle.
I'm gone. Fuck y'all.
Come back. Dang, come back.
It's okay. I'm back. I couldn't stay gone that long. God damn it, I couldn't. Stay.
Apparently, me talking about turning your hair into a wig woke Uzi up because she goes, "Leave Tennessee's hair alone."
Thank you, Uzi. I'm sure Tennessee idea.
I'm glad someone's fucking defending me from this fucking woman who's wanting to cut my goddamn hair all the goddamn time. Where's my white knight, goddamn it? Where's my white knight? Why can't I find a fucking female to come and get this crazy bitch and her fucking scissors the fuck away from me? This is bullshit.
But I'll make you a nice toupee for when you go bald.
No, goddamn it, I'm not. I wouldn't go bald if it wasn't for you.
Well, hey man, how do you think I feel? You know, I've been growing this beard for years, and she's talking about wanting to dye it.
And bedazzle it and beat it.
Make it glittery. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you mess with my facial hair. You know, it took forever to get it this long. I don't want to mess with it.
I think if you color your facial hair and it's not like red, white, and blue and some patriotic shit, I think that, you know, if you color it, I think that means you also take a penis in the mouth. You know, I'm not gonna assume your preference. I'm just saying, if you're a fully grown man with, you know, a blue beard, I'm just thinking that you might take penis in it. I'm just saying.
Mountain Man. There we go. We'll dye your beard red, white, and blue, and put a little mini cannon that works inside of it.
That would look cool.
Okay, now that idea I don't hate.
Yeah, seriously, red, white, and blue. That would look cool.
I'm not sure I want to be shooting a cannon out of my beard. I've already got people that swear up and down Cthulhu's tentacles and Chuck Norris's fist live in my beard. So I'm not sure I need a cannon.
Not his fist, his dick. His dick lives in your beard.
That's great.
You have a black belt on the beard that you grow on your dick.
Yeah, I might consider doing red, white, and blue like flag stripes, but that would be that, and even that would have to be temporary. I'd have to be able to wash it out after, you know,
Yeah, of course,
showers, because
yeah,
that would look really sick. Though. I don't know. I was thinking, there's nothing I could do like that. My hair's too damn short.
Wow. Black Pigeon Speaks liked my video on Twitter.
Oh, dude.
Cool. Very
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it was my one about Antifa and me calling for constitutional carry as a response instead of the unmasking law.
Mountain Man, Death Irican says, what about twisting fuses into it like Blackbeard? He already does that.
Yeah.
I use slow match, not fuses. But yeah.
That's so cool.
Same difference.
Yeah.
But Blackbeard would do it is he would take the fuses from cannons because they were pre-soaked with kerosene or oil or whatever. And he would soak them in water and then twist them up into his beard so that they wouldn't catch his beard on fire.
Yeah. He, I think he made it up as far as actually to over by my house. Because he was actually notorious for hanging out in the Carolinas, Edward Teach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
was also notorious for hanging out in Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
he used the North Carolina coastline to hide out in quite a bit because there's so many nooks and crannies in that coastline that you can't search them all.
It's such a shame that he beached the Queen Anne's Revenge there, but that was because of his crew.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful boat.
It was, man.
Yeah. It's a shame thinking of, you know, there's so many wrecks up and down this coast. That's one of the things I was telling somebody the other day, if I could get my hands on a cheap rowboat like the one I put in my Discord, there's so many wrecks I could go to like that. I could get to within like 5 minutes from the beach. Just I could paddle out to them. They're sticking right up out of the water. I'm talking old wrecks too, like schooners and shit from like 300 years ago. They're still there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what? I always thought it'd be kind of cool to like be like a fucking treasure hunter and shit. Because I mean, I grew up in the time frame of like Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and shit like that. So I thought for a minute it would be kind of cool, and then I was like, you know what lives in the ocean? Motherfucking sharks. And I was like, nope, nope.
No
Stay
sharks,
my ass
no
on dry land.
snakes.
Well, let me ask you, Tennessee, you ever been in the ocean? I mean, obviously on ship, but I mean, like,
Yes, I've been on as a civilian. Yes, I have.
I cannot stand the ocean. When I was
Honestly, bro, I gotta say, man, being out on the open water, like miles away from any land, is not horrible. It's really not. Don't get me wrong, I'll always love my mountains. I'm a hillbilly at heart, but being out there on that water and not seeing land for miles and just feeling that sea breeze in your face, I don't hate it, man. I really don't.
all right, how deep did you go?
Dude, fucking far out, like miles and miles out, man, like deep ocean and shit.
About 4 days.
4 days worth? As a civilian, no, not that far out as a civilian, but definitely as as a Marine, obviously.
Yeah, we would go. If you're familiar with the area, it's referred to by the fishermen as the canyon. It's the Mid-Atlantic Rift.
Oh yeah.
We would go there, and you'd stay out there for a couple of days, and then you'd come back in. And I despised it. We were going. It was my brother-in-law had a boat. It was a 65-footer, and it was usually me, him, my father, a couple other relatives, and because we were a fishing family, and I despised being out in the water on that boat because you see, when we were going, you want to go when it's not rough seas, but you want to go when there's like a storm somewhere in the Atlantic, so it stirs up the fish. We were usually going for usually yellowfin, and oh God, when you're in those waves, and I try explaining it to people because they don't understand. And I tell them, it would be typical because you're out that deep. You'd see swells, 80-foot swells, 100-foot swells easily, and it's just you're on waves yourself. So you're basically on like miniature rolling hills or mountains, if you would. And the thing that I didn't like is, it's a clear, crisp day where you are, but miles away there's a storm, so you can see what's in the waves because the sun is there. And every once in a while, you're in this 65-foot boat, you're seeing shit in those waves that's as big as that boat sometimes.
Or
I didn't
bigger.
like that. Yeah, or bigger. I didn't like that. I really did not like that. That was just one of those things that always got to me.
It's one of those things, man. There's nothing quite like being in a fucking sea storm. There's really not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh man, there's something about being out there in that actual ocean, the deep fucking water, where it's like when it's calm, it's fucking calm and beautiful and peaceful and everything is fucking awesome. But if it gets sketchy, it gets sketchy as fuck, and it gets really bad and really dangerous. So, I mean, I feel you, man. I really do. But I don't know. I kind of like it. I don't know what it was, but I mean, when I was deployed to Haiti, we actually sailed there from North Carolina all the way to Haiti, and it was one of those things, dude, to where when I was out on that ocean, I was like, man, if this was, a couple hundred years ago, I could totally imagine being in like a fucking wool coat on a wooden ship and being like, fuck it, where's the rum? You know what I mean? Like, I had totally been about that life.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's nothing better than being on ship. It's just it's one of those things. It's the open sea. I got a big fear of being eaten. That's my thing.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I'm a fucking hillbilly, man, and I love mountains, but there's a lot of shit in the mountains that'll fucking grab you by the back of the neck and eat your asshole first. So that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, man. That greater North American wildcats started showing back up in the mountains up in Tennessee and North Carolina.
Yep, you're not
ain't
wrong.
no joke.
Yeah, but I'd much rather
300 pounds of cat.
I'd much rather run into one of them than, let's say, offhand a bull shark or a tiger or something of that nature. Easily.
You're just as dead, man.
I got a bit better of a chance. I can run like hell. I can run. I could fight. I could pick up a rock, throw it at the thing. Hell, it gets on top of me. I could try to fucking rip out one of its eyes. There are options. A shark in water, you're a buffet. You can't move. You can't do anything. You're in
Yeah,
water.
Yeah,
you're
true,
fucked.
true. Yeah, that's very good. That's very true. I mean, I think me personally, you're fucked regardless, because I think
Yeah.
people they overestimate themselves being able to handle fucking mountain lions and bears and shit and all that stuff. Like human beings are very fucking fragile. We don't realize that because we fucking
Yeah.
watch UFC and we've been in a shit ton of fights and we
We're
have
squishy.
guns. We have guns and shit, and we know, how to fucking kill stuff. But then, like me versus a fucking bear, or fucking Brock Lesnar versus a fucking black bear. Black bear fucks him up, 10 out of 10 times. I'm sorry, Brock, but at least, if you're on land, you can run away, you can throw something at it, you can try to survive. If you're in the water, you're fucked. You're food. You're gonna get your fucking leg bit off, literally fucking off. And you're gonna bleed to death in the water, then you're gonna get eaten asshole first. So no, it's not good.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's one of the reasons I don't like the water is because growing up on it, there was a lot of times, especially as a fisherman's son, and I'm saying this not trying to frighten anybody, but you'll just see them quiet as fuck come right up out of the water, fucking sharks. Like you'll
Yep.
be pulling up the traps and they come right up to you. And it's just because it's this silent thing, and it makes eye contact with you, and it's just coming at you, and you know what it's going to do. There's no other way around it. This thing is going to try to either bite you or come at you because you're between it and the food source, which is the big ass fucking trap full of crabs that you got. And I fucking hated that shit because, like you said, if at least an animal in the wild, it'll growl. It reacts different because it's a mammal. It's the way its mind works is similar to the way our minds work. We're predatory mammals. These things, though, it's a predatory fish. It's alien the way its mind thinks, and it's fucking freaky. When you make eye contact with those things, and they're coming at you, and the only saving grace you have is you can back up onto shore. And because of what species it is, okay, it's a sand tiger. It's not going to come and sound up onto the beach and bite me. Oh, okay, this one's an actual tiger. Fuck, let me run backwards a little bit more into the tall grass because this thing will actually come up onto the fucking shore to get at me,
Mm-hmm.
But, that just like when you have that situation happen where these things, it's that fast. You'll just be sitting here like how we're talking, then all of a sudden the thing will appear. It's creepy. I hate that about the water.
Well, man, I think you're overestimating what happens with some of these predatory animals in the woods, man. A lot of mountain lion attempts. Most people never even knew they were there.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, it's one of those things. At least then, like you said, it's quick, it's clean, it's peaceful. You don't even know about it. It's like going in your sleep. It's the horror aspect of it, though. It's just something about sharks that's haunting because. I guess it's because you have to realize the water, it's got a greenish tint to it. So these things look like ghosts because it makes them look white.
You just see this beautiful, blue or green water, and all of a sudden you're getting your fucking leg bit off, in one bite. So, yeah, dude, I totally get it.
That's them just tasting you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just saying hello. They just want hugs.
Yeah. Honestly, though.
Sure. Nightcrow said he would come on, but he's sick as a dog right now.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Better, bro.
Sucks.
Let me ask you.
The Rational Outlaw, isn't that who that is?
He's here. He's just, he seems to be muted. I guess he's got something he's working on at the same time.
Everything all right? Just saw him over there. I just didn't know what was going on. Was all right.
Outlaw, what's happening?
Nothing much.
Okay.
So what do you think about sharks, man?
Nothing in particular. I just know that they're fish, basically.
I'll be honest. I'd rather those than fucking squid or octopus.
I was gonna say, man, I'm more concerned about predatory squid than I am sharks.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Yeah, constriction. Yeah. Nasty.
You're on the West Coast. You ever run afoul of those fucking the common octopus that you guys got over there?
No, I've never seen an octopus live on the ocean or anything like that.
Oh, I have. I've caught them. I've caught them. Caught squid. Caught starfish.
I am going to go out right now and say I do not like squid. They're bastards.
Yeah, they're fucking strong little bastards too.
Yeah,
Squids
yeah.
are evil little things. You know what? They are so tasty.
They're
We do
good.
see a lot of
So tasty.
dolphins and seals, but that's about it. Nothing predatory. At least
I like that.
And Nightcrow confirmed what I had said. Burnside is passed out. He worked a good 14 hours.
Damn.
Nice, nice.
And he's been
Well,
doing
that-
that pretty much all week.
That explains why he's not here. I can understand that.
Yeah, he's got to get a better job. I understand, you know, he's doing what he's doing with the security industry and trying to build up his record, but he's got to find a better company that don't take advantage of him as much.
Right.
Yep.
Well, lads and ladies, I do appreciate you having me on, but it's getting a little bit late for me, my time, and I think I'm gonna chill out and play some games and not try and be entertaining and talkative
Hey,
for a bit.
if we get to go to more, can I at least braid your hair? I promise I won't bring any buzz cutters or anything like that.
Ooh.
There is the way I'm looking at it right now, I 100% will not be going to more, but if I do, by the time I get there, there's a very good likelihood that I'll have dreadlocks by then. So,
Ew!
Oh. Cool. Very cool.
I like how I get ew and then cool. So I mean, all right. That's basically the opinion that most people have on dreadlocks.
Dreads don't bother me, man. I've always thought they were cool.
All right,
Yeah.
well,
Most of
I've
my
always.
ex-girlfriends had dreads.
Yeah, man after my own heart. I do
Oh,
have
yeah.
a thing for girls and dreads. But I mean, it's one of those things, dude. I got really long hair, or at least the longest it's ever been. I want to do something cool with it. You know, fucking dye it blood red or some shit and fucking shave half of it off. I don't fucking know. It's getting long and I'm going to do something with it. So dreadlocks or something. But
Cool.
it is what it is. But like I said, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's nice talking to y'all again. But I'm going to hop off here.
All right, bro.
All right,
Take
man.
care,
Have a
man.
good night.
Yeah, brother.
Always good to see you.
Irate, before I
Yeah.
get off, whenever you got some spare time, me and you need to talk. It's nothing bad or anything serious, and it's just shit I don't want on a live stream. But we need to do a little powwow at some point.
All right, you got it.
Like I said, it's nothing bad. It's nothing against you or anything else. There's just some shit I'd like to talk to you about in private at some point.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, y'all take it easy. Thanks for having me on yet again, and try and have a good night.
You too.
Alrighty.
All right,
Be
peace
good,
out.
brother.
Oy.
Oy vey.
Like gewollt geen Mädel.
Oh man. So yeah. Also, have you guys seen this new proposal for turning illegal border crossings into an actual felony from a misdemeanor charge?
It was still a misdemeanor. I thought that they upgraded it years ago.
Nope, it's still a misdemeanor currently.
Unreal.
And believe it or not, Representative Diane Black of Tennessee is the one leading the charge on this.
Oh, good.
She wants to upgrade it so that you can be charged with a felony for illegally entering. And
Good.
she's wanting to push for a zero tolerance policy on illegal entry into the United States. Now, a lot of Democrats are outraged by this, but she does have a lot of support in the House. So I'm hoping that Speaker Ryan brings it forward and we hear it here shortly.
Oh, I'm hoping too. Enough already with this shit. You know, I mean, I feel like my resolve has been steeled because today I was looking on Facebook and I was looking at a picture of my niece. I think I told you she's an Albanian Muslim.
Yeah.
And if I show you pictures of her, you'd never know it. She looks like any other American girl. She doesn't like wear a headscarf or any of that sort of nonsense. And, you know, it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing because if we keep up the way we are, it'll be safer for her in her own little community that she's in. You know, she doesn't have to worry about some crazy bearded fuck running around with dynamite strapped to his chest, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're keeping him the fuck up out the country. The same thing, you know, like I got friends who live over in like Brentwood where MS-13 is, chopping these kids up with axes and shit. And, that's why I get so annoyed, because it's these bourgeois assholes who, are sitting there drinking $5 lattes, and you're opining from up on fucking high. You don't know who this affects and who this helps. Like, my niece, now when she takes my great nephew to, like, her mosque with her, I don't have to worry about, will this kid, I do have to worry, but it's a much lower worry that, God forbid, she might get blown the fuck up. I mean, I can go up into Brentwood and get an empanada and not worry about getting shanked the fuck out by MS-13 because ICE is up in there cracking their skulls.
Yeah.
This is the reality of it. And excuse me, it's one of those things where I'm glad to see like things like this, because it makes me feel like I'm on the right course. When you see the rest of the country starting to fall into the same mindset where it's enough is enough already. And look, we got to make it harder for them when they come in, and this felony thing is one of the first things. And another thing I wanted to ask you, I want you guys' opinion on this. And look, I've made it clear before, I'm only second generation American. I don't speak a lick of Sicilian. And my thought is this: why do we have people that are here now 4 or 5 generations, and some of them don't speak English still?
I don't get that, because I had some friends that came from Romania that served with me in the U.S. Army. I had some guys that I served with who was from Kenya and Nigeria, and they spoke English. Their kids spoke English. Their spouses spoke English. Yeah, they spoke other languages too, but that was one of the things that they were very insistent on, was speaking English. And even in their own household, and even in their own households, when there was somebody there that spoke English, they insisted that their kids spoke English.
Yeah, as to not be rude.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the reasons I started learning German when I was over there, was so that I could speak German and not be rude to people and assume that they're going to speak English.
Yeah,
because that's rude. That's impolite.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I actually want to learn Vietnamese and Korean is to go into the nail salon places so I know what the fuck they're saying.
I can see that.
Seriously, because I am self-conscious. One of the reasons why I don't ride the bus is because there's a lot of foreign students that go to UF, and they'll be sitting there literally like staring at you. Let's say there's some, skinny little Asian girls, and they'll be sitting there staring at you, giggling. And I'm just like, can you at least insult me in English? Even if it's really, really bad English?
Yeah, I got you. They do the same thing to me too. Because you got to realize, tall men are foreign to them, like really foreign. And that's one of the things, like, because you obviously, and everyone who's watching at this point, I think, has seen when I have the mask on. They've seen what color my eyes are. So these, especially like the Asian girls, they gawk at you and they point. And the thing of it is, like a lot of the thing I would get called a lot was Guilo and Gaijin. I hated that.
Outsider.
Yeah, outsider, Westerner. And it used to drive me nuts. And I know exactly what you mean. It's because, excuse me, you and I, we're unique looking to them. Like,
apparently they've never seen a fat white chick before.
I wasn't going to say fat. I was going to say plus size, but yeah, plus size.
They give me weird looks too, because I've got those green, gray, hazel eyes of the Irish.
Yeah.
With my beard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's so foreign to them. And, we are, let's face it, in their eyes, we're Western barbarians. And
yeah, I definitely look the part, don't I?
Yeah. And yeah, I'll be honest, I don't like being around Asian girls, because, especially the Japanese girls, I should clarify, because Japan, we all know at this point, Japan sexually is a fucked up country.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's because all the men have tiny dicks, and you know what I try to imagine what the Asian girls are saying. You know, is like, I bet he have big American cock.
That's basically like the vibe I get from them. You run into a lot of Japanese in Manhattan, and it's kind of creepy and freaky at the same time because they're like the Harajuku girls, you know, the ones with like the specific the way that they dress, like the Japanese schoolgirls, and they'll have their hair up in the pigtails and they're giggling like that.
Oh gosh.
And it's freaky because you'll see them walking around with the umbrellas and shit in Midtown, and it's literally like we call them the Tokyo transplants, and it's basically the same thing you'd see in San Francisco. Like you'll see a lot of the Japanese girls in San Francisco who are from Tokyo, but you see a lot more of them in Manhattan. I've talked to people who spent time in both cities, and they say there's no comparison. There's a lot more of the specific the trendies who are like the Tokyo trendies. They tend to go a lot more en masse to Manhattan and Tokyo. Than San Francisco. I just figured because San Francisco has that huge Asian community, but whatever. There's a lot of them in Manhattan, and you'll see them walking around with those little clear umbrellas, and they have those the bento boxes because they just came from the sushi joint, and they're wearing the whole outfit. They look like Sailor Moon, and it's fucking freaky because it's like Tara said, you don't know what they're saying, and I've been followed by Japanese girls. Like
big American cock.
You know, I can't even say anything to that because that is probably what they're saying. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't want to sound like an ignorant American, but from what I've seen of their culture, like, holy shit, what goes on in Japan.
Cookie dough.
I hate all of you. I hate all. Oh, God.
Cody, go lay down. Your breath stinks, dude.
That your cat?
The dog.
My
aunt has taken over the cat. Which is fine. I want a dog anyway. And her cat is in final stages of renal failure.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I had told her
she needs to put a bean in the back of its head, man. I mean, just kill that thing right now.
No. The cat's actually happy.
Okay.
Well,
keep it fucked up at least.
They're just making sure that the cat drinks lots of water because this cat isn't going to do like her last two cats that were in renal failure. It's not going to
drown to death.
It's not going to sit there and, you know, deal with having water shut down its throat. It's not going to sit there and deal with having an IV fluid stuck into its back until you hit a certain point in the bag. That's what the last two cats, Eminem and Rufus, we did is, you know, we were able to do IV bags with them and they lived another 5 years. But this cat, no, she'll shred your fucking face. So when my aunt went to the vet one day, and she's like, you know, Amber's doing really bad, you know, they want to do fluids, but, you know, we've discussed we're not doing that. You know, she's happy, she's healthy for the most part, you know, we're just going to let her go on her own. I was like, okay, well, go ahead and start getting bonded with rescue. Because your cat goes, you get rescue. Because I know you're not going to be able to survive without a cat. So that's exactly what she's done. And she has bonded with that cat. That cat loves her to death. Follows her around the house everywhere. But when I come over, the cat follows me everywhere. So the cat knows who its mommy is. You know, I know that if I want to go to, let's say, like the Ren Fair again, she'll let me take the cat with me so that, you know, I'm calm and collected. And this time I'm going to have a sign on me that says pet the evil demon kitty, $1. Take a picture with evil demon kitty, $3.
Cool.
That's what I did last year, and I made enough to pay for my therapy appointment.
You know, I'll be honest. I don't know. My father hated cats, and we never had cats when I was a kid, so I never really got into them myself. I was always a dog person. But I always said if I could, because I told my wife for years, and she's a true city girl. Like the Hudson River Valley is too country for her. But that,
Seriously?
yeah, it's too country for my wife. You have no idea.
Dude, she would hate what I'm looking at because some of the stuff I'm looking at, the closest neighbor is, 60 acres away.
Wow. My neighbor's house, I could actually lean outside right now and throw something through the window and hit her in the head.
Yeah, see, I don't want to have to see my neighbor if I don't want to.
Oh, I could actually read the ingredients on her coffee can in the morning when she, if she's making coffee, I can see like if it's Maxwell House or if it's Folgers or if it's Sanka, I can see like that. I'm that close.
Yeah, see, I don't like people that close. I want people close enough that if I want to go see them, I can go see them, but far enough that if I don't want to see them, I don't have to look at them.
He wants them far, far away.
I'm trying. That's the thing. I was trying to tell her, let's look in the Hudson River Valley because I told her I'd like a farm, and she's like, "No, I don't want to move up there." It's like, you want to be Farmer Brown? Get the fuck out of here. And I said, it's nice up there. I said, maybe get a couple of acres, plant a field, chickens and goats and shit, cows. I said, look, set up a really nice classical upstate New York farm. I said, and charge the people downstate, like the people who live in Brooklyn and shit, they can come up with their kids for a weekend, like make it like a petting zoo. That was my idea. Because I don't want to kill any of these things, but, they have the Arc of Taste, and New York State will pay you actually stipends just to keep these animals alive because they're endangered species now because we moved on to, like the commercial farms where it's like a conveyor belt. So there's a lot of species of animals that are going extinct because they're not utilized anymore. So that's the thing. They want you to just keep these animals alive and happy. So you can have a non-slaughter farm that turns a profit in New York.
Wow.
Which is, socialism, man. You got to love it. This is the shit that these people throw money at. But this is one of the things where it's in place already. So fuck it. I'll try to get a farm on this thing. I mean, if they take away the stipends, oh well, I already got the animals. I'll just hopefully make enough money where I can keep the animals alive and healthy and happy. But that was my point. I told her, I said, you can move upstate. I said, we're in the Hudson River Valley. We could run a vineyard, have a few cows for milk and shit. It would be nope, not interested at all. I wanted to do all the artesian shit like you do, man. And she has no interest in that at all whatsoever.
I'm really sad for you, man, because I'll tell you what, there's nothing more satisfying than having a meal of stuff that you made yourself.
My grandmother used to do canning.
Have you ever seen Jersey Shore?
Nope.
Okay,
no,
but
thank God.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
I know of it, yeah.
Suki.
Yeah, Snooki, exactly. That's you talked to my wife before. You heard the accent. You got to understand. She's got the hair and the nails. She's agreed
at least she's not from Jersey.
They're not from Jersey. JWoww's from Long Island. I know JWoww. I met her years ago when she was dating a friend of mine. She's from I think she's from Westbury. But yeah, no, that's my whole point. Is it's that same sort of mentality. She's nowhere near as ignorant or obnoxious or dumb as those people, but it's the city folk. She's got no desire to do anything other than be a corporate consumer, and it drives me nuts because I would much rather have a nice house up in the Hudson River Valley, overlooking the river, maybe something outside of Floatsburg, something nice, like Orange County or Tuxedo, but maybe by the Sherwood Forest. And nah, I got to stay down here in this fucking cesspool and muck and mire because of her goddamn Democrat family who's trying to run for office. So I'm stuck here in this cesspool. It is what it is, so. Hopefully he sweeps in 2020 and the Republicans start taking everything out by 2022 and her family winds up unemployed. And then I can say, well, fuck it, we're moving upstate because they're starving to death down here. So,
That maybe that'll be what happens, man. But I
Yeah,
know
seriously. That's part of the reason I'm hoping that party fails. That party fails, her family has to relocate, and I can finally move.
that's part of the reason why I'm headed east is because I'm tired of what's going on here in Oregon. I mean, Portland's about to pass Portland got a sales tax added to the Portland ballot for gross taxes on corporate sales of all businesses operating within the Portland city limits.
And I'm guessing what that translates into in English is we're just taking extra money because of X.
Well, it's not even for X. They're just taking extra money. It's going into the general fund.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, and here's the kicker. Most of Portland is run by Multnomah County. Multnomah County reelected Governor Kitzhaber while he was under federal investigation for influence peddling. And he got 80% of the Democrat vote in Multnomah County.
It's one of those things where, like you don't know whether you want to laugh or cry.
Oh, I cried when I saw that, man. I cried. And I will be the first to admit it. Because I saw that and I'm like, how could you people be so ignorant? This has been all over the news. He's under federal investigation plus state investigation.
Not ignorant, stupid. It's been all over the news. They knew what was going on and they still voted for him. Stupid is the word, not ignorant, stupid.
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there.
No. If they don't deserve it, don't give it.
And so he got reelected and then immediately had to resign from office, which meant we got Governor Kate Brown. So we've got basically, the LGBTQ governor, because every chance she gets, she talks about how she's bisexual.
That should not be a talking point. That's enough of this shit already.
And so, and she got reelected at the last election, and now she's back up again for reelection. And I'm hoping that they vote her out of office, but I'm not expecting them to. And I'm expecting them to push more towards socialism starting next year. So I'm expecting by next June or July, there'll be a statewide sales tax in Oregon, and that they're going to raise the gas tax again.
Scooby, Death Hyrukin says when it comes to Mrs. Scooby, Green Acres her ass.
I am thinking about it.
Holy shit.
What?
What did he mean by that?
Drag her to the farm no matter what she wants.
Oh, I got it. I thought he meant put her out to pasture.
No. You remember with Jaja and Eddie Albert?
Yeah, of course. God, yes. Arnold Pig, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's talking about.
Mr. and Mrs. Ziffel. See, I even know their goddamn names. So.
Oh yeah. Let me see. What was
Arnold Ziffel?
Yeah, there was Mr. Haney? Was he the one that was the voice actor?
Yeah.
I forget the actor's name, but I remember the character.
That's hilarious.
He did the voice for the wolf, the sheriff of Nottingham in Disney's Robin Hood. I think that was 1972.
Yeah.
How the fuck do I remember that?
Well, he did. Yeah, he was a voice actor, and he did that. That character was hilarious because he's always got something to sell. He's always selling some kind of bullshit.
Yeah. It was funny. I was talking about it. I showed it to my nephews because they never saw it. That old Disney Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And they said to me, they're like, so let me get this straight. Disney released a Dirty South Robin Hood in the 70s. And I thought about it for a second, the way he put it. I said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Because I didn't realize it. Almost every character in that movie is supposed to be Southern American.
Yep.
You don't realize it till somebody points it out to you. I never noticed it. It's supposed to take place in England. Why the hell are they all Americans?
Well, did you ever see Song of the South?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love that movie.
Well, the Briar Bear and Briar Fox, Briar Rabbit were all about, slavery in the South.
Yeah,
And
I know
taking
that.
out.
I know exactly. It was supposed to take place on a plantation. I'm fully aware of what it was supposed to be. See, one of the things that's part of the reason Song in the South gets a lot of flack now is because if you notice the one thing about Song in the South, everyone seemed pretty content.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, there wasn't there was no misery. It was just poor people. It was a lot of poor people, and it was
well, it was a retelling of Aesop.
yeah,
yeah, it was exactly with wise Uncle Remus. You know, yeah, it's a sore spot, man, and I understand it, but on the other hand, it's like I've seen other shit that's should I mean, if we're gonna go that way, there's a lot of other shit that should go too. But
you know, you got to remember this. The one thing is what I always point out is you're denying the like not you. I mean, people who wanted to who have a problem with the Song in the South. You're denying the existence of those people by saying that this is offensive because there's nothing offensive about the movie. It's a period piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same as like the people who were complaining about that movie Zulu. It's a period piece. It's the same, even a newer movie, if we're going to get on it, is, and I don't even like the prick because of his personal politics, but I'm not going to deny his skill as an actor, Will Smith in The Legend of Bagger Vance. Now, anyone who knows,
I've never seen that, and I've heard that's a fantastic movie.
Oh my God! You of all people have never seen that movie. I'm going to stop talking about it. Please go see that movie so I can talk to you about it.
I will.
It's very, very well done. And one of the things that I got annoyed about was now it's supposed to take place down south, and Will Smith is supposed to be from down south,
right?
And people were annoyed at how he was in that movie. They didn't like how he had that Chicken George accent. And my whole thing is this: my boss was from Augusta, and holy shit, he had that. He used to.
They got it thick on that side. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. The coast. Yeah. That side. Oh, dude.
He used to tell me, he's like, "You're my white slave. Come here, boy." And he was an older black man, and he was as tough as a fucking coffin nail. He was from down south, and he was the first black guy I'd ever met because being a New Yorker, he was the first black guy I ever met that was constantly referring to me as a white guy. Like it's nothing that's like brought up here. Like no one talks about skin color. It's just something that no one cares about really. So, but it was weird. I'd never dealt with somebody who was like from that part of, I'd never dealt with a black Southerner. I'd always dealt with, like good old boys. And it was just amazing to me dealing with him and talking to him. But he had that same accent, like that Will Smith had in that movie, is my point. And they were getting on him for that Chicken George thing. And
well, yeah, and then what's so weird, well, not weird, but what's cool about it is that in the South, see, we would say it would be a white guy or a black guy. If they both talk like that, we'd say we call them country boys.
Yeah, they got their country.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right, exactly. They're country folks and shit. And here's my favorite saying: is he's country as a tater sack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. That thick country accent, love it. Love it. Love my fam.
My two roommates. My one roommate was from Virginia, and we used to call him Jen A. And my other roommate was from Tallahassee, and we called him country because everyone called him country, but I called him Boomhauer.
Oh yeah, I had a brother from Texas. I called Boomhauer because he always had he dipped long grain cope.
Yeah, you tell me about this guy.
Yeah, and so you talk all I was the only one that could understand it.
My roommate would come in, and he was one of those guys where, he didn't, because he was my roommate, he didn't really need to knock, but he didn't turn the doorknob. He would kick the door. He was one of them. And he'd kick the door and he'd come in and he'd have a case of beer under each arm. And he'd be like this, "Hey, Scooby, I got some milk. I got some milk. Good time, bad boy." And everyone's like, "What? What the hell did your roommate just say?" He just said, "Yo, Scooby, I got some beer. I got some weed. We're going to go get some girls. And, oh, man, we're going to have a good time, boy." And, like, you understood that? I'm like, well, I've been living with the guy for a few months. If I couldn't understand him by this point, it would be a problem. But he was a real rip because he'd be screaming across the bar, "Yo, come here, I got these shots on the man, and everyone's like, "What the hell did he just say?" He's like, "Yo, Scooby, I got these shot lines up. Come on, let's go bang them back now here." And they're like, "How the hell did you want to?" Again, it was just from living with him for so long. And I gotta say, look, from living with those Southerners, after you come back down and you live in with New Yorkers, you're like, wow, you people are assholes.
Yep.
They're all so uptight for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same out here on the left coast. So many of these people are all, I mean, so many of them have just got their nose so far up in the air that they think they're better than everybody else. And it's like, really?
Yeah. I don't understand it myself. To me, there's no reason, to be that way. Like,
well, guys, it's almost the top of the hour. We should
Holy
probably,
shit. God damn, that went by fast.
yeah, I didn't realize. Sorry,
You
man.
guys
I didn't
were
mean to
talking,
dominate.
so I was letting you go, and like I said earlier, I don't feel well, so I was kind of zoned out. We'll start with Irate Prostate.
Hello, tomorrow, Big Fat Brian, your boy Pat, Viper Sword, myself. We're going to look at Godzilla, Planet of Monsters. It's an anime done for Netflix by Japanese. It's 3D oriented. And come see our amazing appraisal and review of this film. It's a 1 part out of 4 parts. Friday night, mystery guest. And Saturday, drinks with friends, of course. Sunday, secret. And Monday, Chaos120. Irate Monday. Monday, and I'm pissed.
Mountain Man.
Well, everybody, I'm Veteran Mountain Man. You can catch me on YouTube, Twitter, BitChute, Minds.com, Patreon, Maker Support, and even Coffee. I will have another Spiritual Thursday out tomorrow. It's got some interesting insights on internal exploration. And of course, I'm going to be trying to get a couple more political discourse videos done for Friday and Saturday. I might actually be releasing my new Cultural Marxist of the Month on Saturday. So stay tuned. It'll either be this weekend or next weekend. Now, next weekend, I am at a pirate event. So if I set it up to release next weekend, I will have to set it up to release via remote. But I will still check in a bit.
All right. Rational Outlaw is muted.
I'm here.
All right, go ahead and show yourself.
All right, my name is Rational Outlaw. I do political and social commentary videos. You can follow me on YouTube, obviously, by my name, Rational Outlaw. You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, BitChute, Minds.com. You can also support my work on Maker Support, Patreon, Coffee, or you can also buy something from my merch store. And for videos that are going to be coming out soon, I have 2 more social commentary videos. One is going to be on square dancing, with the left trying to say that square dancing is racist, so that it's a racist history. And the other is going to be on basically this gender fluid makeup that BuzzFeed was having certain people wear and stuff. So, yeah. So, yeah, those are the 2 videos I have in the works.
Awesome. Racist. Interesting. All right, Scooby.
You guys know the deal. I'm Scooby331. You can follow me here on YouTube. I am on Minds.com, GabAI, Patreon, and PayPal. And I am still in limited state suspension on Twitter because Jack is mean.
Hashtag free Scooby again.
Yep, thanks. As for projects coming up this week, I still have to do a response. I'll probably do it either tonight or tomorrow to everything with the Supreme Court and Kavanaugh and the picks. I wanted to let everything rattle out after. I wanted to wait until the day after, which was today. So it's all come out in the wash with all the craziness. So I'll probably cut something based on that and maybe one or two other things. I got to see what's cooking. So that's what I got in the works right now.
Alrighty, and I'm Terracin, hosting in place of Burnside. Obviously, you found me, so please like, subscribe, share. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Discord, and if you're lucky, I'll send you a link to my Discord. Patreon, Maker support. While yes, I do have a for me new sewing machine. I'm still trying to get one that is portable, so that I can take it around to teach people how to sew. I can take it to like the flea market and sew there and make things on the spot, because that's usually how I make money. But I still have the links out there. It's not please give me money now anymore. I have something to work with. Burnside and I are working on a old time radio type deal with DC Comics. If you're in my Discord, go to the Legion of Doom and read what he has put down. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. Him and I will have to talk. He put it down when I couldn't sleep. So stay tuned for that, and I am signing off, walking the dog, and passing the fuck out because I'm feverish and Mother Nature fucking hates me.
I feel you.
Good night, everyone.
Night, y'all.
Night all.
Good night.